Okay, so I just wanted to pop on here and talk about what I'm doing with the Black Book. A little bit of background information. So we talk about the Epstein list a lot, and it's kind of, there's no definition of what that is. And so people say it exists, it doesn't exist. I've always said of course it exists. Like we all have lists, our kids have lists, I have a list, right? Everyone has a list. If you work, like, okay, for instance, I have a small business. I have a client list. So if you run any kind of business under your own name, you have a client list. You wouldn't not have that, especially, yeah, you just wouldn't have. I don't really understand it. Also, bear with the airplane sounds. We live a couple miles from Teterboro Airport, ironically, which is where they arrested him, which I found out about a month ago. I was like, oh, huh. So we get a lot of private planes that fly over us, which kind of feels creepy. I have thoughts about that, but I won't go into that here. So there are a few different things of what a list could consist of. It could be a Rolodex, which I doubt because this went through 2019. Um, Likely it's his phone, and no one has talked about where is Epstein's phone. Who has possession of it? Does the FBI have possession of his phone? Does his estate, who that is run by Indike and Richard Kahn, like, do they have his phone? That will be your list, right? That will be your list. It's not going to define how he knows, like, this was my sex slave and this was my, meter reader. It's not going to say that, but it's going to have the list of everybody in there. But one thing we do have is we have the Black Book. And I think this surprises people that they don't realize that this is out there. And the reason it's out there, I believe, and, tell me if I'm wrong, but the reason the Black Book is out there is he had an employee that got his hands on it and tried to sell it at some point. So it does exist. It was going to be auctioned off, and then it kind of came back into law enforcement's domain, and then it became the public's domain when Gawker, there used to be a publication called Gawker that published the Black Book. They just basically scanned it or photocopied it in 2015. So we had access to it redacted in 2015. And so there was, lots of things blacked out. In, I believe, 2020, I don't know if that's the right date, and I apologize for that, they released the unredacted version of the Black Book. So now, online, we have access to the entire Jeffrey Epstein Black Book of clients, friends, family, um, Hollywood, politicians, royalty, everything, which you'd think was the list, right? Like, it exists. It's online. It's in multiple file sharing websites. It's public. If you can access it and you don't want it to go away, I recommend downloading it, which is what I did, because with everything that's going on, things will get pulled off the internet. So I downloaded Jeffrey Epstein's entire Black Book, unredacted, to my computer so that it can't go anywhere now. And what I'm doing, and the reason I posted it early, is I feel kind of a sense of urgency, especially after last Wednesday when we listened to the the survivors speak in Capitol Hill. I wanted to get as much information that's available to the public out and in front of you as possible. So the Black Book reads a little bit like, I don't know how long you guys have been around on my Substack, but I did the quote unquote big beautiful bill. I sort of decoded it and made it simple for people to read and understand. His Black Book is kind of similar to that. It's not as complicated as the big beautiful bill. But when you just look over it, you don't necessarily know who you're seeing. Some names are common names, some names are nicknames, some names are misspelled. Some names have a lot of information and phone numbers and beeper numbers and emails and company names, and others do not. So what I am doing is I'm going through and I'm digitizing the entire list, and I am background checking each person to make sure that I have the right person, right? And again, if their name is in there, it doesn't mean that they have committed any crimes. Like, he has people in there who are art dealers or who worked on his house or, were maintenance. It doesn't mean that they were part of a sex ring, and it doesn't mean they were money laundering. But there's a lot of people. So inevitably, a good chunk of them did all those things. So what I'm doing is I'm going through, and I have access. I have like a paid subscription to some really detailed and thorough background checking servers. And so what I'm doing is I'm popping names in and phone numbers, and it pulls up a lot of information generally based on what I have. So I can usually nail down who they're talking about. I can see if the name was misspelled. I can see if, like, I'm trying to think. Last night I posted something where they had the name of a guy in England, and it was just like a little dumb nickname, but I was able to do a background check based on the phone number, based on the last name, find his property, link his actual name to that nickname, and then verify that that's the person he was talking about, and then name him in the blacklist or in the black book. So a lot of people have kind of popped in my DMs and said, "Why are these all A names? Why are these all B names? Trump's not on here." Da, da, da. No, he's not on there yet. I am doing this like page by page. One page of this black book takes about an hour to research, if not an hour and a half, to research all the names and make sure that I have things right. I still put a disclaimer at the top of the post to say that these are allegedly in the black book, to save my butt, but also because there is a small chance that I got somebody wrong. But in general, I'm usually able to verify that this is the actual person. If I'm not able to verify that a person is who I think they are, or I just, their name is too common, there's not enough information, I have an unknown list. And it's thankfully very short compared to like his business associates. So there are some people that, I spent a good amount of time and I just cannot verify who they are, and they would go in the unknown list. Everybody else is known, they're verified. I'm putting their full name, and then along with a nickname, if they have a nickname, and then their position, like at a company where they are, how they're connected. I didn't want to wait until I finished the entire thing because, again, it's 92 pages, I think. Sorry, airplane. I didn't want to I didn't want to post it after I finished the whole thing because, like I said, a single page takes anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes to research everybody, if not longer. And so I'm just basically posting them as I go. So if you look in there right now, they're all A's and B's. That will populate over time. I just didn't want to wait because, like I said, I feel a sense of urgency. Right now, we're talking about the survivors releasing their own list of people that they know who are involved. Things are coming to a head. I just, with all the Chicago stuff, everything that's going on, it just feels like the more information we have and that we can verify, we need to get it out, and we need to make it accessible. It's one of those things where this information is spread out everywhere. It's very complicated. But if we can put it all in one place and make it simple, again, not put it behind a paywall, I think people who aren't on Substack can still read it. So I'm trying to post it on like Blue Sky and Threads and Twitter and all those things, so that people can just click on it and read it. Then it will be easier to access the information and just go to one place and go, oh, I see that this person is on the list. Oh, I can search. I can go up in the if you have Chrome, 3 little dots on the side, and I can search for a name, and it should be able to find it in the list if they're in the list. So that's what's happening. This is going to take a minute. I'm juggling because I'm still working on the Maxwell interviews. I'm still working on transcripts for a film, and I'm also going to work now, Monday through Friday. So eventually, I hope, thanks to you guys, I hope that I can come back and work at home. Like I have been for the past few years, but for now, gotta eat. So thank you guys for checking in. I will continue to work on this. If you see people saying, hey, where's this name? Why isn't this here? Why are these all A, B, and C names? Just remind them that this is a work in progress. I am adding to it every day. as much time as I can spend on it. And it will eventually get finished. But I just want the names that I have researched already to be out there as I go so that we don't have to wait however many weeks that would take me. So bear with me. Thank you guys. I love you all. And I hope you have a great last little part of your weekend. I'll talk to you later.